Hey guys, welcome to one more episode of our Table Salt, our podcast of YWAM Virginia Beach. I have a very special guest with us today, and you guys will love all the stories, the testimony, and what God is doing in their lives. So hold on there, and very soon we're going to be talking about this. So first, I want you guys to subscribe to our channel, share this content, because this is going to help our channel to grow and reach out so many people all around the world. So God bless you, and let's start this right now. Yes, guys, this is so cool. I have the privilege and the honor to receive with me Kent True. Kent is an amazing man of God, being in YWAM for so many years, 40 years in YWAM, Youth with a Mission. Him and his wife, Josephine, they're the family that host us and receive us when we lived in Australia for 6 years. And they were with us there in our beginning. We didn't even speak English. Our Portuguese is only language we had, but we had the privilege because they have been to Brazil and they spoke our language. We could communicate. There were most of the meetings. Kent will be translating in the back for us. It's such a privilege. So Kent, thank you so much for being with us here in Virginia Beach and being part of this podcast. So tell me a little bit more about you and for the people that's watching.
No, it's really great to be here. It's great to be with you, Fauger, and YWAM Virginia Beach. We go way back, not only to Australia, but to Brazil. And Brazil, like Australia was for you, Brazil was a very formative experience for us. We helped pioneer bases in the Amazon jungle, Manaus, Amazonas. Then we joined Tribal Ministries, which is based out of the Porto Velho, Rondônia base. And then we went and lived among the river people, and we write about that in our book, The River People. The river people, many Brazilians, from the south of Brazil don't even get to the Amazon. It's
that's right.
Their country, it's a big place. A bit like Australia, I've never really been to the outback, because it's hard to get there and you have to be really intentional. But we were intentional. We came out of the church planning sort of movement in YWAM, and we wanted to go to an unreached people group. And the river people are very unchurched, even though they're rural Brazilians, and the church in Brazil is a strong, vibrant church. The river people have been overlooked just because they're so remote and hard to get to. And so that required living on a boat and, to work among the villagers.
Yeah. How was that for your family? Like, because you guys were all with the little kids in the Amazon. How was that for you guys?
Well, that's one of the number one questions we get asked, you did that with a family? But honestly, children, small children in particular, are just happy to be wherever mom and dad are. And children are incredible door openers for ministry. I mean, we were a family ministering to families, and they just opened doors of relationship. And our kids, actually, they all loved growing up in Brazil. They loved growing up in the Amazon. And there was nothing, adverse or dangerous really about it. Every part of the world has its own dangers, so you learn what the dangers are. So
it's amazing because that's what we normally do. We just take our family, whatever God calls us to go, we just be obedient and take our family. And you're right, like most of the questions we have is like, are you doing it with your family? How do you are you homeschooling? Are they going to school? How's the language for them? But they're absorbed so quick and learn, and it's amazing experience. I'm pretty sure your kids speak 2-3 different languages now because of that experience. It's like our kids. Tell us a little bit more about. So you guys, how long did you stay in Brazil?
Yeah, well, we were there 12 years. The first 4 years were really just learning language, pioneering, getting the boat ready, and then we lived on the boat for 3 years among river people villages. And we often describe our work as doing church planting through community development.
Okay.
Because development needs around the world are the number one needs in the minds of the people that you're reaching out to. And so when you can meet their need, when you can tap into that area that they really want help in, then that's a door opener to relationship. And of course, we know that the gospel flows through relationship. So Yeah, we did a lot of healthcare. We did a lot of development work, and that built relationships, allowed us to build relationships. Yeah, so then 12 years total, we moved to town. In the last 5 years, started a base in La Brea, Amazonas. And all three of these bases still go today, which is very encouraging. And the churches that we started both in the rural communities and in La Brea are still going today, and it's more than 20 years.
Wow, that's amazing. This is like the joy when you go and sacrifice your family, sacrifice finances and things that you're comfortable with to go to the Amazon and just live, kind of give up your rights. But then you look back, now you see the fruit of everything that you saw it and you invested, and now it's like a joy to see, such an encouragement.
Yeah.
To see those things. And
Absolutely.
how much of that experience kind of like forge and help you with your work? Like, because you guys also, after that, you moved to the States or to Australia.
Yeah.
And how much of that experience helped you in the work environment, in different spheres of society, like how, or degree, like how, tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, I actually got my degree through YWAM, the University of the Nations, while I was a missionary for the 12 years in the Amazon jungle.
Wow.
And that's the beauty of YWAM's, modular education structure. I did some courses in Brazil as independent study. I did some courses when we were back on furlough. And I just slowly, bit by bit, it took me, nearly 20 years total. But I was able to do that. So then I graduated not only with a degree, but 12 years of experience. And when we did go to Australia, I actually needed a job. I needed to provide for my family, etc. And I got a job because I had a degree and experience.
Wow.
So I got a job with World Vision Australia. And I really enjoy and specialize in that area of development, community development. And that was really significant for us as a family to help us get into Australia. As you know, the cost of living there is quite high.
Yep.
And so we just needed help. And so I actually worked in World Vision for a year. Then I got a job in state government of South Australia for 7 years. And now I'm back full-time in YWAM. I've been back full-time in YWAM for over 10 years now.
Wow.
So, but it just enabled me to transition, which I think is a real benefit for missionaries.
Yeah. So now what is the next season? What do you guys feel like this is? Because now your kids are all grown up. They're married. You have grandkid. So tell us, like, what is next? What is this season that you feel like God is calling you guys?
Well, really, the ministry in YWAM, church planning and community development, that has become my specialization. And really, for the last 10 years, we've been doing a lot of teaching, both Josephine and myself. Josephine, of course, as you know, is here in Virginia Beach, teaching in the prayer and counseling seminar. And that's her area of specialization. And I tend to teach more on cross-cultural topics, church planning, community development, all the principles around that. And so we travel and teach together, which is great, because maybe I am teaching in the school, but then Josephine will meet with staff and students, have prayer and counseling sessions, and they really appreciate that because, we're outsiders, we don't know everybody, and we can do that. So that is really what we're doing today. And more recently, I assumed the role of managing director of Australian Mercy. And so YWAM Australia, back in 1988, so it's, many years ago, formed a charity called Australian Mercy. Because in Australia, you don't actually get a tax-deductible receipt if you donate to a missionary or a church. Actually, for no Christian ministries receive tax deductibility. They only receive tax deductibility if they're helping the poor and doing justice or social work. And so, Australian Mercy does that. I'm leading that, and I'm contributing more again in my area of strength. What are the development principles? So that we're just not doing giveaway, free things, real paternalistic, but trying to move these kind of service ministries and charity ministries more into the development space. Yeah.
And is that focused in Australia, or it is like around the little islands on the Pacific or the Asia area?
Actually, we only have 4 projects in Australia, all located in YWAM bases, but 22 projects overseas which were YWAMers that went overseas, started ministries, and, to do the backroom stuff of tax receipting and reports to government, all that's a bit hard. So Australian Mercy really serves those outreach teams that want to do ministry long term. And so we provide that with the backroom support of tax receipting, communicating, reporting to government regulators, which we're obligated to do.
Wow. How important this, like we don't have an idea, because we thought we always, I thought before, missionaries, I think I shared with you guys the other day, you have the mentality of like, this very serious guy with a Bible, holding a Bible, and then the lady is like long dress and they have like 12 kids and they're carrying everything, or just like on like an enriched people group. But how important is to actually be part of like different spheres of society and how you can plug in and reflect God's kingdom and help all this like paperwork, things that we don't think about it, finances, and do it things with integrity and really honoring God with that kind of thing. So I'm very amazed to see that how people love that area, which is like a huge need. Like nobody think about office. We need to work. You need help in the office. We need help with accounts or those or kitchen. We kind of like tend to see more those kind of work a little bit. No, let's push that aside and more like evangelism and this and that. And it's kind of like a body. And little member kind of like make part of, construct this huge body that moves forward. So it's really cool to see what God is doing in guys' lives. And what is like now, you guys from Virginia Beach, what is the next step now? What are you guys going to go?
We've been in the U.S. for 6 weeks. I'm from here originally, so I did have a big family reunion back in my home state of Minnesota. But as you mentioned, we have 4 grown children. They all live in Australia. That's where we call home. Josephine's Australian. So yeah, typical global YWAM family. Our children were all born in different parts of the world. But yeah, Australia's home, so we'll be returning back there. But we'll continue, Josephine focusing on the prayer counseling, and myself in, international development, cross-cultural missions. So we continue to teach and serve in that capacity.
That's awesome. This is such an encouragement. Guys, I will tell you again, if you don't have this book, it's where can we find this? Amazon or?
Yeah, you can find it on Amazon. YWAM Publishing has all the electronic versions, as well, Nook and Kindle, etc., as well as their own sort of PDF download. So it's YWAM Publishing. It's part of the International Adventure Series from YWAM Publishing. And of course, you can always buy a hard copy as well through YWAM Publishing in the US, or in Australia, we have them as well.
So you go just to ywampublishing.com
and
you can find this amazing book. It tells a little bit more of the adventure with the river people in the Amazon in Brazil. It's amazing. I have a copy. I read it. It's amazing to see because I'm from Brazil, and it's just so cool to see how much the Lord gave to Brazil and sent. I think the last episode we were talking exactly about something that God did, sending American missionaries to Brazil to invest and give to our nation. And now I never thought God is going to call us to be missionaries in America. And now we have this country as our own. I love this country. I love to live here. I love to spend time and invest and disciple young people in this nation. But again, thank you so much. If you guys don't know, but today it's Kent's birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday. And we have the privilege to celebrate his birthday and this episode with us. So Kent, thank you so much for being part of this with us, and tell a little bit more about your guys' story. Your adventure is very encouraging to see that dreams never grow old. God always has something new. It's a new season for you guys as your kids are grown up now, and you guys can just, keep traveling, keep ministering and blessing so many people around the world. So thank you so much for this privilege.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's great to be here.
Thank you. Guys, please, again, subscribe, share this video with a lot of people. That way we can spread this word, encouraging word with so many people. So thank you so much for joining us with a Table Salt, our podcast here at YWAM Virginia Beach. God bless you. See you next time.